Welcome back, students. Now let's complete section 2. We had a couple of problems related to y-intercepts, and then we had a couple of problems related to x-intercepts. They were fundamentally different. Y-intercepts, it's more convenient to work directly from the vertex form or sometimes general form, depending upon what you have. For x-intercepts, on the other hand, the intercept form is really helpful. Now, how about this kind of problem here, 2.7? Find an equation of the quadratic function that has y-intercept of -3 and the x-intercepts of 1 and -2, and then find its vertex. Okay, not the vertex equation directly, but do some other things first and then find its vertex. So, okay, it may be a bit more challenging, but in any case, we have the x-intercepts of 1 and -2. So it's gotta be this. So, all right, let's begin from there. 8 times x minus r, x minus s. And what's r? 1. And what's x? -2, so let's write it as +2. Alright? So there goes your equation. Now that you have two zeros, r and s, you can get h immediately. H is r plus s over 2, the middle of the two. So in this case, 1 plus -2 over 2, so this is -1/2. Did I do this right? Okay, and then now that we have h, we can find k by plugging it back in. But then again, we don't have k value here to determine a, so that's going to be a bit of a trouble. Nonetheless, let's just put it here. K is given by f of h, which is f of 1/2. Oh, excuse me, -1/2. So plugging in -1/2 here. So -1/2 here. And what is this? -1/2 minus 1, so that's -3/2. And -1/2 plus 2, that's +3/2. So -9/4 of a, is that right? Let's see if my mental math is correct. Yes, it's -9/4. Okay, so that's correct. Okay, but then again, it's not really helping too much. You see, h value, okay, all right. K value, not yet. And a value, oh, that's big no. So we are not there yet for the vertex form. And as for the vertex itself, h, okay, k, not there yet. So we'll have to use this y-intercept equal to -3 one way or the other. So how do you use that? What do you mean by y-intercept -3? 0, -3, right? The point is on the y-axis, so x-coordinate is 0. Make sense? 0, -3. I want you to make that observation. So if I do that, -3, y equals -3 equals a 0 minus 1 0 plus 2. So -3 equals to a -1 +2, so it is -2. A is 3/2. Is this right? Please check. So A is 3/2. So I'm gonna get f of x is equal to 3/2, x minus 1, x plus 2. So there goes an equation of this quadratic function in the intercept form. Also, k is, let's see, -9/4 of a. So of a, and that is -27/8. Is that right? So therefore, a value is 3/2. X, and what's h? -1/2. What is k? Okay, we have an equation of the line, an equation of the parabola. First in the intercept form, another in the vertex form. Well, the problem said just find an equation, did not specify find the vertex equation, so I didn't really have to do this. I could have stopped here, but then again, I need to find out vertex anyway, so. -1/2. And then -27/8. Okay, basically we found everything we wanted to find. What do you think? Probably a little bit harder than the previous problems, even still. Whenever we have x-intercepts, be careful here. The intercept equation will be helpful, yes, but please expect a little bit rough problem. That's the nature. Can't help it. X-intercepts are always harder than y-intercepts or anything else. Okay, let's have a brief recap. We start from the intercept equation. 1 and -2, okay, here we go, and h immediately follows. But the immediate stops stop here. From this point on, you have to take a bit of trouble to get each. K value, always you have to take some trouble, plug in h in there, and do some work, and this time it was particularly bad because you couldn't simply calculate k directly, but you ended up with an a expression of that. Now, as for determining what a is, you can determine it from what you call the y-intercept. X is 0, y is -3. Plug those in, you can find out what a is. And this is what you did. Again, you have to take appropriate trouble to get one step further. As you did here, one step, another one step here. All right, now that I got a value, we have the equation, but then again, I'm not really satisfied with this equation. I want the vertex equation. So let's calculate k out, you see. Here, a value is now 3/2, so calculate it out. Still one step further with a little bit more trouble. And finally, I got the vertex equation, and thus the vertex. What do you think? Too mean? Okay, I admit it. this is not the kind of problem you'll have to expect in exam. You have about 50-50 chance or lower to get this kind of problem. And if it does show up, it's going to be considered as one of the upper echelon problems. Now, if a problem like completing the squares and things like these show up, then the expectation is really high. Everybody must know. If these kind of problems show up, okay, expectation is a little bit relaxed, but still, it's a standard problem with relatively high probability that you're going to see one way or the other. But this kind of thing, well, maybe not that exceptional, but still, it's a challenge. Now let's go to the final problem here. Find an equation of the quadratic function that has y-intercept 6, like this, and the x-intercepts like these. So the structure of the problem is pretty much identical. So can you do the same thing as this to get this problem done? You should be able to do that. So go ahead and try. And then, so x-intercepts are -1/2 and -7/2. So +1/2 and then +7/2. And h is immediate. So what is it? -8/2, -4/2. So -2, that's your h. Okay. And now that you found out h, you can find out the k expression. But the k expression will not give you the complete answer there because you don't know what a is. You may get a tentative expression of k, but that's not the end of the story. You have to come back and determine a. How do you do that? You'll have to use the intercept as you did before. So the intercept over here, you have to plug in what? 0,6. Okay, I'll stop here. The rest is left to the students.